We are back with this week's trending stories coming out of Thailand. Tourists get into a physical fight at one of Thailand's most famous temples. It looks as if Pattaya police are cracking down on illegal foreign workers. 13 foreign nationals are arrested in one of the biggest scams that is currently growing in this part of the world. And a Filipino tourist in Thailand shows us exactly what not to do if you want to be welcomed into a foreign country. By this point, you guys know Thailand headlines never disappoint, so buckle up, grab your popcorn, let's get into it. How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a wonderful day. If not, sorry man, not much we can do.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
But it's been a minute since we've done a little roundup of some trending stories that are coming out of Thailand currently. Over this past week or so, we've had a lot of news coming out. There are a few stories that have gone mega viral that I figured a lot of you have probably already seen. So I went ahead and skipped over those, glossed over them a little bit. Not that they're not important, but I'm sure you're pretty up to date with those already. So I made an attempt to find some things that may have slipped through the cracks. And what do you know? There are quite a few. And as always, per our usual trend, we have some lessons to learn on exactly what not to do if you are a foreigner in Thailand or any other country for that matter. So let's get into the first story. Taiwanese and Thai tourists brawl at Chiang Rai's White Temple. Taiwanese and Thai tourists were involved in a physical altercation at Wat Rong Khun, commonly known as the White Temple in Chiang Rai province, last week following a dispute over photography regulations at the site. Apparently, those Instagram posts are worth getting punched in the face over now. A video showed 4 tourists fighting on the temple's well-known Bridge of Rebirth quickly went viral on Thai social media. The footage showed 2 couples exchanging punches and kicks in the middle of the narrow bridge. One group involved was a Thai and Taiwanese couple, while the other consisted of 2 Taiwanese nationals. Temple staff later escorted both parties to Muang Chiang Rai police station to resolve the matter. Police explained that a clearly displayed regulation sign is installed at the entrance to the bridge leading to the main hall of the temple. The sign states that visitors are not permitted to stop on the bridge and take photos of the main hall. The rule is written in several languages to ensure mutual understanding among international visitors. However, police said some tourists may overlook the sign, and the Taiwanese couple was among those who stopped on the bridge to take photos. Now, honestly, I'm not really surprised by this. It's not just exclusive to Thailand, but everywhere I've gone, there's always, one group of tourists or, whatever that thing, the videos they're making and the photos they want to take are, more important than everybody else around them. Where I grew up in Arizona, there is a very famous waterfall. And of course, right under the waterfall, there's a place where you can swim. There's a big rock right there and everybody's trying to always take their Instagram photos. I have literally almost gotten into fights at that place because people will go up on that rock to take the photos and try to tell you to get out of the water so you're not in the background of their photo. Now, don't get me wrong, when I'm out filming and stuff, I make an active effort to try to not have a bunch of people in my frame for multiple reasons, but I'm not going to start a confrontation over it, especially when it's clearly stated that you're not supposed to be taking photos right there. Unfortunately, the reality is some people just think that we call it main character syndrome. They think the entire world is, it's their world and you are just living in it. So don't do this, obviously. I hope I don't have to tell you that. Of course, especially at these very famous temples, there's quite a bit of rules. There's quite a few things that you should not be doing at those places to make sure you're remaining respectful. If it gets to this point where a Thai person, wants to punch you in the face or does punch you in the face, I can pretty much guarantee that you pushed it a little too far. Now, before we roll into our next story, I just want to give you a little context in case maybe you don't know, in case you're, maybe getting ready to come to Thailand for the first time. But when it comes to foreigners working in Thailand, Thailand has a lot of restrictions on what foreigners are legally allowed to do for work and what they're not allowed to do. A lot of the time, a lot of the more entry-level positions are reserved for locals or very qualified positions where you need licenses and things like that, because of course, Thailand wants to be able to track these things to make sure that people have the proper licenses. Something that's going to happen if you spend enough time here, you are for sure going to see some people working at places that they are not supposed to, but Personally, I think this is really annoying. So in regards to this next story, I'm happy that the Pattaya police went in there and got this taken care of, especially because I feel like this could be pretty dangerous. The article reads, Iranian man arrested for illegally running a pharmacy in Pattaya. Police arrested an Iranian man on Tuesday, January 20th for illegally operating a pharmacy in Pattaya and selling controlled substances without permission or a pharmacist's license. Officers from Pattaya Tourist Police, Chonburi Immigration Office, and Chonburi Provincial Public Health Office launched the operation after receiving complaints from locals alleging that a foreign man was operating Katika Pharmacy, located near Pattaya Park Beach Road, without a license. Acting on the tip-off, officers conducted a sting operation on Tuesday. An undercover officer entered the pharmacy and requested Gofen 400 Clear Cap, a brand of ibuprofen. Under Thai law, ibuprofen is classified as a dangerous substance and must be dispensed under proper provisional supervision. Now, when I was reading this earlier, I was honestly pretty surprised because if you've never been into a Thailand pharmacy, there are a lot of things that you can just walk in and buy over the counter that you wouldn't be able to do so in America. So there's some things here that are completely cool and they just kind of get treated like a normal everyday medicine or like a vitamin even. And then there's other things that, are completely fine to buy over the counter in America, but you can't buy them over the counter here. A big one that I've run into is sleeping pills. I go through these weird stints where I'm not getting very good sleep. And in Thailand, you actually have to go and get a prescription for sleeping pills, but there's certain types of pain meds you can buy over the counter. So when I saw that they bought the ibuprofen and that was a controlled substance, that was pretty wild to me. But this just goes to show, like the article said, that they got reports that this guy was working there. There are a lot of Thais that understandably, if they see foreigners working in a position they're not supposed to be in, they're upset because the way that they look at that is that person is possibly taking a job away from a local. So I advise everybody, if you are still a professional, a bit younger, you want to come to Thailand and work, you absolutely have to make sure you're doing something that you're allowed to do, because it's not going to be one of those things where it's like, oh, as long as the police don't see me, I'll be fine. You're guaranteed to run into a local who's not going to be happy with you breaking the law, essentially, understandably. So if you do want to come here and work, make sure you do some research first, man, especially with something like this. This seems pretty dangerous considering this guy had no license. So I think it's a good thing that, they kind of nipped this in the butt when they found out about it.
It's a trap!
Side note, some more very important breaking news, especially for my American friends coming to Thailand or living here, whatever it may be. 7-Eleven in Thailand now sells Monster. Terrible for you, but man, does it taste good. And for me, it's super nostalgic. They've got the green as well as the white. It's only 49 baht. It's not like America where you're getting charged $7 for an energy drink. I have been drinking way too many of them, so if I take a hiatus for no announced reason, it's probably because I got kidney stones. But anyways, let's get back into the stories. If you've spent any time on YouTube, Instagram, wherever really, and you watch enough Thailand content, you are guaranteed to see a video or two talking about common scams in Thailand. I'm not above it. I've made a couple myself. Now, minus the jet skis and the tuk-tuks and all these scams that you kind of see get repeated over and over that you need to keep an eye out for, which you still do. Don't get me wrong. Over the past year or two especially though, there's been one scam that seems like it has been on the rise big time, and I feel like it's something that we could all very easily be exposed to, and that is the perfect segue into this next story. We'll get a little bit more insight into it. 13 foreigners arrested in romance scam crackdown in Nonthaburi. Police arrested 13 foreigners at an accommodation building in Nonthaburi on Monday, January 19th for operating a romance scam network. The suspects included 11 Nigerian men and 2 Ivorian nationals. Am I stupid? Is Ivory a country? I feel like I'm pretty decent at geography. Let me know down in the comments. The crackdown was launched after a Thai woman filed a complaint with police late last year. She reported to Muang Nong Khai police station that she had transferred more than 2 million baht to 4 mule bank accounts controlled by foreign scammers. So 2 million baht, for reference, 3 million baht is about $100,000. So that is not a small amount of money. According to the victim, the suspect created a fake profile posing as a Chinese engineer and first approached her via Facebook. The two later continued communicating online and eventually entered what she believed was a romantic relationship. Police launched a raid at around 1 p.m. on Tuesday, forcing entry into multiple rooms simultaneously while the suspects were unaware. Some of the suspects reportedly fled their rooms barefoot in an attempt to escape arrest, but failed. Officers found several of them actively chatting with victims online at the time of the raid. Of course, online scams are nothing new, but the thing with these romance scams that I think a lot of people may not be grasping entirely just yet. So making content, one thing that I've, worked with quite a bit and been exposed to quite a bit, testing out if I can make things, make my job a little bit easier and make better content for you, is AI. Now, I feel like there is kind of this idea that, oh, scammers are just stupid. Scammers are dumb. That's why they're scammers in the first place. But of course, they learn, they adapt, they get better and better, especially now with AI. I have, read some crazy ones where the intricacy is just, honestly, it's impressive how far these people can go to, do this. Not that I condone it, of course, don't be that guy, but it just goes to show, guys, especially if you're a dude coming to Thailand. I know there's a lot of people who are, cruising around. Maybe you're hoping to find a nice lady or something. I highly advise against meeting anybody online initially and then starting a relationship from that. Sure, if you want to use a dating app and then go meet somebody, get a coffee, anything like that, but you have to meet people in person, guys. I know it may seem obvious, but I'm sure we can all understand that sometimes when you're in that love tunnel, you got the blinders on and you are not thinking clearly. Believe me, I know all about that. I won't get into it today. If you've never met somebody in person and they start asking about money, or, and the thing about it is too, is a lot of the time, these scammers don't like directly say, hey, can you send me money? They do it backhandedly. They're not stupid. They know how to manipulate people. They'll make up some sob story and, oh, well, my little brother's got this and he's in the hospital and I need this much money to get him the treatment or else he's gonna die. Don't fall for that stuff, guys. I know a lot of the time we just wanna be nice, but I could pretty much guarantee that that money is not going where you think it is.
I don't believe you.
Now, rolling into our next story, this is one that hits pretty close to home with me, honestly. If you've been watching this channel long enough, you know that we preach over and over to make an active effort or go above and beyond to make sure, you're not being backhandedly rude or discourteous to Thai locals, right? You're coming here, you're a visitor, you should make an attempt to figure out the things that you should and should not be doing. You should be very conscious of the things that you're putting out there, especially if you want to be a content creator. This next story just goes to show you posting something that you haven't really thought about all the way through can end up putting you in a really uncomfortable situation. Filipina tourist apologizes after viral rant about English in Thailand. The Filipina tourist, Anne Burdin, who sparked online backlash for complaining that English is useless in Thailand, has responded in a video posted today, January 13th, clarifying that she meant no harm and was simply sharing her experience. In the now deleted viral clip, the tourist had vented her frustration, saying no one in Thailand seemed to understand English, including Grab drivers and locals. The video prompted criticism from Thai netizens after a response from a popular Thai influencer, Crispy Freud, sounds like a punk band or something, who urged for greater cultural sensitivity and respect while traveling. I agree entirely. In the new clip posted on her Facebook account, she explained that her original video had been misunderstood. That's ironic. Is anybody else seeing the irony here? She said she had no intention of insulting Thailand or its people and was simply sharing her personal experience. Quote unquote, for me, there's nothing wrong with the video I made. I was just explaining what my experience was. I think I said the wrong words. The irony is not lost on me. I hope it is not lost on you. I watched both of these videos, the original one with her complaining and the one of the apology. The original one, I'm not really buying that, oh, I was misunderstood and that's not what I meant. In the original one, she was definitely being pretty condescending about like, oh, nobody here knows how to speak English. And it was very apparent that she was kind of like slamming these people for not knowing English. And then even in her apology video, quote unquote, she didn't really apologize. She kind of just danced around it and essentially said one of those things where it's like, I'm sorry that, I don't know if you guys have ever heard it, but I had an ex that used to say to me, I'm sorry that you're upset. Not, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry that you're upset. And that's pretty much what this girl did. She pretty much put it as, I'm sorry that I was misunderstood. I'm sorry that the video was misunderstood from what I was really trying to say. So I'm not really buying it. You guys can look up the video if you want to check it out for yourself. Honestly, I don't really think it's that worth your time, honestly. And another part of it that I thought was pretty funny and pretty ironic is I don't have a whole lot of room to talk. I can speak English. I was born in America, and I could speak a decent amount of Spanish, and I know about 30 Thai words. That's about it. So I can't really, knock anybody for not knowing 2 languages. But this girl, for knocking people in Thailand not knowing good English, her English was not perfect by any means, second language, so I give her respect for that. But to kind of knock people for not being good at something that you're not really good at, I don't know, seems super ironic to me, but just goes to show, yes, we've mentioned it on the channel before, you can come to Thailand and you can survive without knowing a bunch of Thai. You don't have to be fluent in Thai to come here and travel around and get things done, but you are going to run into people that don't speak English. This is Thailand. Everybody that lives here and was born here speaks Thai, so that's what they're used to speaking. You as a visitor, it's on you to make sure you can communicate. It's not on the locals to make sure that they understand what you're saying. One of the only times in Thailand I have gotten very close to punch somebody in the face, I was at a market and there was this Russian dude screaming at this Thai auntie vendor because she didn't speak Russian. I didn't do anything. I kind of just went up and bought some stuff from her and gave her a nice tip to kind of just ease the tension. But going to a foreign country and then expecting everybody in that country to speak your language just because that makes your life easier, come on, we're better than that. As always, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think this Filipino tourist was genuinely sorry for what she did, or do you think she was more sorry that she did something that got a lot of people upset at her? I've got my opinions, but I want to hear yours down in the comments. Let me know. If you did make it this far in the video, thank you so much for hanging out. As always, if there's any stories you are interested in hearing about, stories you would like to see on the channel, feel free to drop those down in the comments as well. If you're new here, maybe this is the first video, welcome. And if you would like to see more from Bangkok and Thailand as a whole, you know what to do. All those fun little buttons are down below. Also, Monster, sponsor me. You're welcome for the free promo. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
You